My name is Bernard Bale. I'm a physician. I practice psychoanalysis. I've been doing that for almost 60 years. I became a psychoanalyst as a result of fate because of what happened to me in the war. I know about fear, but I also learned that survival is what people strive for. When I was a student, Freud was the only game in town. There was nobody else. And all analysts were taught people become ill because of the failure to surmount the Oedipal complex, and that's the centerpiece of pathology. At age 60, I was at the moment of despair. I didn't know whether I should leave the field and have invested 30 years in something that didn't work. Freud cautioned against delving too deeply in the unconscious. But if you understand the unconscious, you finally will get to what I call the feminine, which is the gentle part of the mind that contains great wisdom and great truth. When you deal with a dream and deal with it correctly, you're dealing with what is the truth. The patient always knows because they get a feeling in their stomach. They have an emotional reaction. It's not so much an intellectual, it may be that, but it's an emotional reaction which tells them this is true. I've just listened to a person, and over time, what came to me is how men, women, were talking about a need to save their mothers. I'd been taught the father centrality. So this was a huge shock, that it was the mother who occupied the space. Usually, analysts know that the first dream is a very important dream because it is a dream that will occur over and over again because it is symbolic of the person's illness. And if the dreams are correctly interpreted, the patient will allow you to go deeper, meaning to earlier levels of life. And eventually we'll get down to the imprint. The imprint is in the unconscious, and it is the guiding light, although it's the guiding dark light, which is so distorted his or her life. The imprint is realized really at conception, and it is the result of the projection of the mother's unwanted content of her life. It's what she herself had implanted in her unconscious by her mother. And in that is lifetimes of women who have suffered being abused, being devalued, suffered the pain of war, of torture, of famine, of plague. All of this is stored in everybody's mind. If you spend your life from an egg, from a conceptus, in your mother's belly, and you're privy to her physiology, if you're privy to her mind, if you're privy to her anxieties, you're feeling it. You're feeling what she felt. We are all creatures of God. We're born pure, but it's mankind's history on earth which hits us with this imprint. The traumas in fetal life are important because the person will be compelled to repeat those traumas. And if he finds no place, he will attempt to recreate those traumas. That's like a law. That's a compulsion that he doesn't know or she doesn't know they're doing. So the task of analysis has got to be to rid oneself of the trash. Because if you don't get rid of the trash, it will overwhelm you in your personal life. It will disturb your relationships. It will disturb you. It will disturb, if you have children, your children. It's trash. It's got to be removed. It's removed by the analysis of your dreams, by understanding the traumas which go back to really fetal life. And that's the only way you can remove that trash, is through that kind of psychoanalysis.